Yeah. It's the biggest. You know what I'm talking about? Hey. Yeah. She want the She want the
Hey, what's up, y'all? I am your host, Izumi, and we are reporting live from Los Angeles, California, and we are on PIC TV Network on Roku TV. And if you're not tuning in right now, you better tune in because you do not want to miss the latest and hottest indie music videos, fashion, celebrity news, interviews, and so much more for you guys that we're going to bring a home for all indie artists and all genres of music. So we are the streets, we are the culture, and we are the content. Stay tuned, Roundtable TV.
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the fifth floor. Yo, look at here. Y'all need to support the new Coaching World channel on PIC TV Network. It's all that. I mean, go to www.watchpictv.com. That's PIC TV.com. It's all that. So spread the word. You know, the new coaches channel. That's PIC TV Network. www.watchpictv.com. You know, my dude, man, David Edwards is the president, all right, of the PIC TV Network. So let's support him. You know, PIC TV, all coaches need to be off up on this here channel. I mean, it's like money in the bank. Matter of fact, it's like Serb sandwiches in the bank. All the Serb sandwiches that you can eat. Watching PicTV.com for the coaches. Peace.
Hey everybody, David Evans here from Washington, D.C. Don't touch that dial because we have a brand new hit show on right now. The Prison Freedom Show is on, and you already know it's going to be hot as fish grease. One of our brand new shows. And I'm so happy today. I have my co-host, my right-hand man for this show, Brother O, is here in the screen with me. We beaming this in, folks, from D.C. to Chicago. Want to thank everybody for watching. Don't forget to go to www.watchpictv.com. We are popping and rocking from the nation's capital all the way here, Washington, D.C., and we beaming it in from Chicago. And we have another special guest all the way from Jerusalem, our very special guest on tonight on the Prison Freedom Channel on the PIC TV Network. Popping and rocking from D.C. to Chicago, popping and rocking from Jerusalem. Our brother is going to be on telling his story. I'm going to get out the way. Brother,
every time a patient is
my special co-host today, we're going to bring you in, man, and tell the whole world how you feeling today. How's Chicago treating you, Brother O?
Oh, man, Chicago's been treating me well, you know, as usual, you know. I'm happy to be here. Had a long day, but this is the moment that I've been waiting for. So I have a special guest that I want to introduce the entire audience to. I met this brother a few months back, told him that I could get up with him. And so once I finally called him and told him that we wanted him on the PIC TV Network, he was more than obliged to come. And so we're here today.
Man, thank you, man. Hey, brother, how you doing today, my brother?
I'm great, man. I'm blessed to be here, to be able to be on this platform with you brothers, and I appreciate the invite, man. And I was more than happy and glad the brother reached out to me, man, because I believe that we all have a story to tell. Some are heavier than others, but they all need to be told, man. And I try to do my best to network, given the life that I've lived, to get it out there, man, especially to a lot of these young brothers and sisters, man, that are out here and have this misconception about this whole life that they've been dealt and they've been taught and they've been told that things are this way, when in reality they're in a whole different way, man.
Definitely. And so I got a piece. So for those of you who do not know who I am, I'm Orion Meadows. I am the business manager of this program, the Prison Freedom Show, and also I co-facilitate some of Hello America. Now, I'm an author, spoken word performance artist, and I have a piece that I would like to say right now that, hold on one moment. So I have a piece that I would like to say that I believe resonates with everything that this brother is about to convey to all of you. So it's entitled Thug Consequences. Retracing steps of my path. Regrets from the past lingering in my mind as I rewind the scenes of the mental motion picture playing out in the theater of memory. The pictures recorded are distorted yet still poignant enough to evoke sensations that cause me to shudder. And dismayed from the thought of a life filled with potential wasted in the gutter. They say it's a terrible thing to waste minds. So then why did I waste mine? Staying wasted, filling my body with liquor and smoke, gun tucked under my shirt at the waistline. Not understanding that it takes time and dedication to build a future with success. Too obsessed with fulfilling the prophecy of my death. And although my demise didn't manifest in the flesh, I'm buried alive, my development under arrest. Now this is the product of my labor. Perhaps I was possessed. My wonder years, my soul hungering for glory and respect. For Lord knows those streets called me, like the voice of a whispering gin. Or was I simply delusional, mind clouded from all the chronic whiskey and gin? Father, forgive me for sins I can never atone for. For I've seen murder, torture, misery, and sadly this heart of mine firsthand has known war. The days of my life, like the stations of the cross, the burden of my choices, and the weight that comes with the stunning realization of their cost. These are a thug's consequences.
That's deep.
And so that was from my publication entitled Inside the Box, one of my 3 publications. And I just felt like it resonated exactly with, your book and the message that you're trying to convey to the masses. So without further ado, I give you Brother Imad Sadah. And I'd just like for you to tell us about yourself. So you grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Yes, but I'll start with my birthplace.
Okay.
I was actually born in Jerusalem in 1966, August of 1966. Less than a year later, what was known as half of historical Palestine was invaded by what's called the newly created state of Israel, which is basically made up of European Jews who left Europe and came to Palestine in the early 1900s. They established a country with the help of the United Nations, United States, and England in particular. And they took half of my country and exiled half of my people. In 1967, they invaded a people who had no military and took the rest of the country, is what you might know as the West Bank, Gaza, and in East Jerusalem. So I was less than a year old when I lost my freedom as an individual who identifies himself as a Palestinian. The males in my family were imprisoned. My uncle was exiled to Jordan. He came back and did an operation and was arrested through the Jordanian desert. He was part of a group, what is known as the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, led by a Christian leader named George Habash. So most of my life was spent watching the Israelis arrest the males in my household assault and insult the females in my household, including my grandmother and my mother. Spent most of my life, the 12 years there, spent most of the time going from prison to prison with my grandmother, visiting my uncle, my father, or my grandfather. And my father and grandfather weren't in there long. They would stints, a year here. And my uncle was sentenced to 125 years in prison for his political views and his freedom fighting tactics. So I grew up there, poor. We hardly had anything to eat. We were a poor family. We lived on rations from the United Nations. We received a 100-pound bag of flour once a month, a can of grease, and sugar and salt. And this is what we ate, basically, for most of those 12 years. And my dad had migrated to the United States in 1973. His sister pulled him out of there. And I came to the United States in 1978. I had just turned 12 years old. I moved into the Marquette Park area. In 1978, Marquette Park was still heavily infested with racist individuals. They actually had professionally painted swastikas with white power. For instance, on 71st and between Rockwell and Artesian, there was a building there. I remember it distinctly. And I've had to endure. I didn't speak any English. I went to Marquette Park School. I had to endure. I didn't know at the time what these white kids and even some Spanish kids who grew up with whites were saying to me. And finally, it didn't take me long to learn English. I realized they were calling me a camel jockey, a sand nigger, a towel head, and things like that. So I fought for that whole. They didn't understand that I was coming from a country that was fighting already, and we had to endure and deal with individuals who walked around with M16s and Uzis shooting at us. So to come here and have to deal with somebody who wants to be racist towards me, who doesn't have a Uzi and an M16, was an easy tactic for me. It was easy to deal with, and it was a fight for the whole year. And I probably, when I say I had 50 fights that year, I'm not exaggerating. It's probably more than that. Finally, we moved to the back of the yards, which you're familiar with. My father was a heavy-handed individual. He was a proud man, but he was heavy-handed. He beat up mom. He beat up the kids. Finally, I ran away from home, and I found refuge with the local gang who took care of me. Back then, things were different. Who took care of me like they were my brothers. Their moms were like my mom. Their fathers were like my father. They gave me shelter, food, and so on and so on. In 1985, I went to state prison. I got out in 1987. If you remember, 1987, the drug game was so heavy that, I tried to stay away from it, man. But I got out. One of my best friends who I left didn't have $5 in his pocket. We used to cruise all night, on $5 of gas and gather $5 just to get a nickel bag of weed to smoke some weed. He was basically almost a multi-millionaire. So he kind of invited me in. I rejected, and I already learned a trade in state prison. I became a body man, a certified body man, auto body man that I learned in prison, and I stayed with that. Finally, I fell to the game, man. There was so much money to be made that I fell to that game, and I probably became one of the biggest drug dealers in my area. And was arrested in 1992 by the FBI and DEA for a conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute multi-kilos of cocaine. And I spent 13 years in prison there, and it was African-American brothers who basically educated me about my religion and invited me to come to services. It took me about 3 years to go to services because I felt like I came in without religion. I'm not going to break down and ask God to help me out because I'm in jail now, because it would be almost like I'm a hypocrite. So I said, you go, you worship God. I came in not worshiping God. Actually, when the feds arrested me, you could almost call me an atheist. I didn't believe in anything. There was a point in my life where I just disregarded God and said, if there was a God, many of the things that happened would not be happening. Why is there Muslim, Christians, and Jews? This is obviously a fabricated. These are fabricated institutions. They're fabricated by human beings. That there is no God. and I learned the hard way that there is a God. It's the God that sent Abraham. It's the God that sent Moses. It's the God that sent Jesus. It's the God that sent Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This is why we say he is he is the protector of Abraham, or we should say he is the I'm stumbling onto it, but we say he is the creator of Jesus and he is the guide of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and he is the friend of Abraham. And this is this is how we describe their God. These are the three Abrahamic faiths. I learned a whole lot. I studied a whole lot. I studied once I got to know, and brothers gave me some books to read. Once I read them, I couldn't stop reading. I spent most of my time, the 10 years after were spent reading historical stuff. There was I didn't read any opinionated stuff. Everything was historical and factual. And I came to realize how close we are and that there is a God. And ever since then, I've been basically walking that straight path. I felt like a fool because I thought I was really, really, really smart. It took some time and some reading and some recollection to just kind of realize that I was pretty dumb, to be honest with you.
All right. So the title of your book, Jerusalem Gangster. Tell us a little bit about the lifestyle and gang culture that you eventually found yourself immersed in.
Well, I'll tell you, initially when I got involved in the gangs, I fell in love with the individuals because of their love for me and their care for me. And from there on, man, I carried that torch all the way. I didn't, if people who know me from back then will tell you that this guy was nothing to play with. This guy was something to be reckoned with. I remember once I saw my brother. I had left home. I saw my brother and he said, "Hey, man, I saw so-and-so." It was an individual. I was 15. The individual was probably about 25, a grown man. And he said, "Man, he saw you walking down Hermitage," and said he crossed the street because he didn't want to cross your path. So I was basically at one point a very deadly individual, standing at 5'4", but was very deadly. I wasn't scared to fight with my hands. I wasn't scared to go what back in the day we called humbug, to the next neighborhood and humbug with fists, baseball bat, chains at our ops. And so this is some of the stuff that I went through in my gangbanging days. Now in my drug dealing days, we were moving a lot of dope, a lot of drugs. And you're talking about a night of Super Bowl between 12 noon and midnight. We'd probably clock in about 50 grand that day and shut it down a little bit after that. We played cautious. We had cars with traps in there. We didn't move anything that was sitting in the car out in the open. We tried to keep violence to its minimum, especially when you're doing that kind of business. You don't want to cause any more heat to yourself than necessary.
So, when did you get released?
From federal prison or state prison?
From federal prison, the last time that you got out.
I was arrested February 11, 1992, and I was released early May of 2004. Okay,
so the first time you went to prison, you did your time and you got out, but you practically kind of like went back to the streets. But this last time, when was the moment that you felt like you needed to make that change? What? I'll tell you when and what made you have this paradigm shift that ultimately led you down the road to changing your life for good?
I'll tell you what, it was long before I got out. It was long before I learned religion. It was long before I said to myself, I'm going to go straight because it's the right thing to do. I had already decided once I was arrested by the FBI and DEA and wound up in the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago, and I seen the amount of individuals cooperating with the government, guys who were straight up stand up, were people who were to be reckoned with on the street. Now they were in the MCC, and a lot of them were telling. And it really did a number on me, just sitting there thinking. I remember walking in when I first got arrested. A Puerto Rican guy named Rico walked up to me and said, "Hey, don't talk to nobody here. They're all snitches." I thought he was crazy because I had done state time. And you go to the joint, that's not your idea. That's not the perception you have. I already knew how it was in state prison. And I thought I was coming into the same thing when I went to the feds in February of 1992. To my surprise, if these people were arresting 20 individuals, within weeks, 18 of them were already telling, taking some kind of plea. So when I saw that, it took all the life out of me, man. And I was so depressed that I couldn't believe that I was going to have to sit in this jail. And I knew I was going to face a lot of time. I already knew how these people were playing by what I saw within a couple of weeks, not even within the first few days. And I said, man, I'm going to have to do time with these individuals. And these are the same type individuals as the individual who put me in here, the informant. So I had already decided that this would not be even fair. How do you even get involved with something when you know I'm going to hold my weight? I'm going to hold water. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to do nothing. And all these guys are just telling. So it really depressed the crap out of me, man. And that's when I realized that I was just going to go straight, because that's not the team I chose. The team I chose was totally different, man. The team I chose was a team of stand-up individuals that no matter what happens, man, you stand strong, you take your own weight, you don't talk on people, you don't snitch on people. That's not the way we play things. And that's what a real gangster is. A gangster is not a guy who's on the street pulling hits, selling dope, living the street life, and as soon as he gets popped, he starts telling everything. And then once he's released, or once he's sitting in jail doing the little time that he received for cooperating with the government, he's a gangster again. That's not what a gangster is, man. So when I saw that, I realized that I wanted no part of that no more, man.
All right. So before we leave, what do you want readers to take away from the Jerusalem Gangster?
Well, a few things. I want to, at least the most important thing is for individuals living in this society, is that people even all around the world are living hard. I want people to understand the Palestinian issue, that brothers who suffer in this country, we suffer just the same. We have a lot in common. Three, I want individuals to take a look at the life and the things that down the line at the end of the book, where you see that I get my life together, I could have done that long before that. And no matter what the trials and tribulations you go through, the life I lived, there's a name for it, man, and it's called Jimmy Dean. Live fast, die young. I mean, I could imagine people were probably taking bets that I wouldn't be alive by the end of summer, or at least be in jail for the rest of my life. And now look at this. From that, I ran businesses. Since I've been out of prison, I ran 4 different businesses, and they were good businesses, money-making businesses. It was hard. But I did it. And that it's the sooner you realize that life that I lived is a short-lived life, and whatever you make out of it, you're gonna lose it eventually. The education, man. If I could bring time back, bro, I would not come out of school, bro. You would have to beat me out of school, man. But at the time, I thought it was the coolest thing not to have to go to school and hang out with the boys in the neighborhood and so on and so on. If I would have went to school, man, back then and spent all that time that I spent in jails in school, I could have been a doctor, man. It's doable. That's why I try to encourage a lot of young brothers, man. Now, even if you're 21 years old and you don't have a high school diploma, if you went and obtained your GED and spent 3-4 years in school, majoring in something, and there's a lot of programs out here to pay for that, majoring in something, man, that your life would be a totally different life. You don't have to die, man, and live in a sense to say, like a lot of brothers think. There's been questions and there's been studies, especially the African-American brothers, even some, Hispanics, how long do you expect to live? And they don't even go over 25, 20 years old at their estimation, man. And I understand it because my job right now is I get a call at the hospital whenever somebody is shot. So I see how they come in, bro. And people are getting shot left and right. I would tell you 6 or 5 out of the 10 shootings I go to the hospital, 6 or 5 of them are innocent victims, bro, hit by stray bullets or a car shot up that resembles somebody they're beefing with.
Right.
Females with babies in the back seats. I mean, this week I was called to at least 15 shootings between Wednesday and Sunday. 15 shootings, one hospital, and I'm one. There's 2 other people going on calls, and the other one probably had 10, and the other one probably had 5 or 6. So we're talking about 25 to 30 shootings between Wednesday and Sunday.
And you know, that's something that Dr. Evans and I have been talking about. You know, the crisis that we have in America with guns and violence. And eventually we're going to have some people come on our Hello America program and talk about those issues, such as what you were talking about, as far as people being, you know, hurt and killed by gun violence.
Yes.
You know, because it's definitely a crisis here in America. So, Dr. Evans, I'm going to give it to you and let you take over from here.
Man, I'm just so happy, man, that my brothers come on to people around the world that can see the PIC TV Network Freedom Channel, man. And we want you to be on the book fair this Saturday. I never thought that your life, man, would impact so many others. We're gonna go to a commercial break. When we come back, I'm gonna ask you what would the older version of you today tell the young version of you. Then I'm actually, if you was in the room with 5,000 young people from the age of 25 on down, what would you tell them if they was getting ready to make some moves like you had made in your life? 2 things I'm gonna ask my brother when he come back. What would the older version tell a young version of you? And then if you was in the room with 5,000 young people, the age of 25 on down, who's out there in the gang banging, running the streets and doing things, crime and violence, what would you tell them? After we come back, you're on the Prison Freedom Channel today, my brothers and sisters. We beaming it from Washington, D.C. to Chicago with my co-host, Brother O, and we beaming it in to my brother from Jerusalem, who is our special guest today on the PIC TV Network. We'll be right back right after this. Don't touch that dial.
Every time a patient is diagnosed with colon cancer, the first question is, am I going to survive this? So let's take a moment and talk about the probability of cure in this disease. Using multi-modality treatment, meaning combination of surgery with and without radiation and chemotherapy, we have significantly improved the outcomes and survival of patients with colon cancer through all the stages from 1 to 4. Unfortunately, whether a patient will be cured or not is still determined at the stage they were diagnosed with. The more advanced the tumor, the lower the likelihood of a cure. A stage 1 tumor that has not even penetrated through the wall of the colon can expect it to be cured in 93% or more percent of the time. Once the tumor starts to grow through the wall, things become more complicated because it's not only the size of the tumor at that point, but also how aggressive it is, what the different biology is. And there's a lot of research in trying to determine today the risk groups and the genetic factors that determine how aggressive a tumor is. But for now, we have to go by what we have, and this is the size of the tumor and whether lymph nodes are involved or other organs are involved. So a stage 2 tumor, which would mean a tumor through the wall but not in the lymph nodes yet, can expect to be cured in anywhere between 75 to 85% of the time. And this is because there are small tumor cells that have already left that we might not see originally, so the tumor was a higher stage, or it's just a more aggressive tumor. In stage 3 disease, meaning the tumor has spread to the lymph nodes already. Unfortunately, these numbers drop significantly. Stage 3C, meaning more than 7 lymph nodes or very advanced primary tumor, the cure rates drop to 44% rate if you look at the patient populations. In stage 4 disease, the 5-year survival rate is quoted as around 8%, which means there is a subset that still might be cured using optimal treatment. All of these numbers are historical, and we hope that in 2013, combining chemotherapy in early stage disease, we might be able to achieve better results.
Hey everybody, David Evans here once again from the PIC TV Network. Breaking live, we here on our television network today. One of the hottest shows on the PIC TV Network out of our 60 channels is the Prison Freedom Channel. And I'm so happy for our special guest today, who's beaming it in, way from Jerusalem, where she grew up at, living now in Chicago. And I want to thank my co-host, my right-hand man, who is the face of the Prison Freedom Channel, Brother O. Brother O, I'm so happy, man, for you taking time out to get another special guest on. And I want to give a shout out to Brother O, some of the people who we had on. Benny, can you give some names, Brother O, before we bring our brother back in?
Oh, yes. We've had Celia Cologne. She was on the show. We had Miss Brock Kelly. She was on here. We had Professor Bennett Lee. We had Randall Washington, just to name a few. And also Tim Barnett. He was interim director of University Without Walls. At one time, he's no longer the interim director, but he is still a professor at Northeastern Illinois University, and he is still with the Prison and Neighborhoods Arts Education Project out of Northeastern Illinois University. So those are just a few people that we've had on the Prison Freedom program.
Yeah, and one of our special guests won, man. We got to give a shout out to him. He was on our public official show. He won.
Oh, yeah. So he won the Democratic primary. You're talking about Dan Pogoshelski. He's running for the commissioner for the Water Reclamation District right here in Chicago, Illinois. So he won the Democratic primary. And, he's still running. He has to face his opponent, whoever wins the Republican primary. But he did, get to the next stage.
That's big, man, to have him on and winning. We're excited about everything transpiring. And this has been one of the greatest shows we have had on PIC TV Network on the Prison Freedom Show. And those who are watching right now, Prison Freedom Show is a show that we got together to give people a shot, to talk about what their life looks like now after they come out of prison, a new start. And our brother today is giving everybody hope that you may be in prison, but prison don't have to be in you, and you have a vision after prison. Wow, that's pretty cool. A vision after prison. And I want to ask our brother today, brother, what would the younger version, what would you tell the younger version of you today?
Man, I never forget I was about 14 years old, and I was out there gangbanging. I remember the conversation like it was yesterday. And one of my older guys, one of my older boys, Mario, rest in peace, he's gone now. He came up to me, it was a school day, and he said, man, why you out of school? And I said, man, you know, F school, man. I'm out here in the hood with my boys. And he said, man, go back to school. You're going to regret it. I never, ever forget that conversation, man. That conversation sticks in my head regularly, man. I would tell definitely push my old me, even with the stuff that my dad was doing as far as beating us up and stuff like that, man. I would have stayed in school, man, and I would have finished school, because I'm going to tell you, man, the only antidote to this mess is education, man. That is the only antidote to this mess, man. And when you abandon education, you basically abandon your life, man. And that's what I would tell the old me. Stay in school. You don't have to you don't have to prove nothing to nobody, man. Because I was out there, I was eager to prove myself as a vicious individual in my neighborhood, demanding my respect by brutality. At 15, 16, 17, and 18, when I went to the state joint, man, I gained a lot of respect. I moved up to second C real quick, which is within the Latin folks at the time. At 19 years old, I was already holding a second spot within that institution for the Latin folks, or Latin disciples, whatever you want to call it. Spanish gangster disciples were at the time. That was the concept. So that's what I would tell the young me, man, to stay in school. Definitely, man. Stay in school, be strong, and take it. Take it, because that's the key. That's the key. That's the key to open all doors, is education, man.
Yeah, man. Man, I just thank you for your words of inspiration, encouragement, motivation. Got to give you 5 stars.
Appreciate that.
Man, that was beautiful. And,
I will tell you this. Yesterday, I sat down in downtown Chicago, and I was in a meeting with state representatives about gun violence. And I spoke, and when we speak, and I'm not trying to say, I don't have a PhD in literature or a PhD in science, but I have a PhD that was given to me, that was gained, which is street knowledge. And when we speak, these individuals, their jaws dropped, and they were listening because of the what I had to say and what others had to say about the cure to this madness and to this sickness. And I will tell young brothers this: if you think it's gangster to shoot somebody and kill him, if that's gangster, then what is an individual who walks into a school and kills 15 people in one shot? How much of a gangster is he? If that's what makes a gangster, if that's what makes a thug by shooting an individual, then what is that individual? Should we consider him as a thug and a gangster because he shot 15 people in a school or in a mall or whatever the case may be? It don't make you gangster to pull the trigger and kill somebody. And I'm going to tell you, man, life is beautiful. Life is great. It doesn't have to be lived the way it's being lived in some of the disadvantaged communities. There are resources out here, man. I used to get upset at brothers in the joint, man, when something came up about something, a TV in the TV room. And I say, man, that's them white people shit. No, I used to tell them, bro, don't say that. That's not their shit, man. That's our shit. Our families pay taxes. We pay taxes. Every time you walk into a grocery store and buy a can of pop, you pay taxes. Oh, that's not them. Why are you legitimizing what they think about us, that this is their stuff? That's not their stuff. So there's a lot of resources out here to help young brothers, man, to help themselves, whether it's free schooling, free trade. You just got to reach out, man. I work with organizations in the city of Chicago that offer these things, man. But I understand why brothers are reluctant to get involved. See, because the disadvantaged community has been lied to and conned so much that we are to a point that anybody comes to us with anything good, we think it is a con. And I constantly have to tell dudes, man, I don't want no money from you. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm not trying to get no money from you. I'm trying to help you so you help yourself and move on. And it's not far-fetched to have a house, a car, and a family in a decent neighborhood after you get your education and get you a decent job, because these people ain't scared of somebody with a gun. They have tanks, planes, machine guns, and everything else. They have armies, but they are terrified of an educated minority, whether it be a Hispanic, African-American, Arab, whatever the case may be, man. And that's the key to everything, is education, man. And the strongest person is the one that holds his anger, man. Brothers are out here killing each other over just bumping into each other. If you bump somebody, you wind up getting killed, man. You're killing somebody because they bumped you, because they cut you off, because he said something to you, and, you know, said something to your sister or your girl or whatever the case may be, man. You take somebody's life like that, man. But I understand, like I always say, man, this is historical trauma, man. It has to be dealt with. Like I told the politicians, this is a social issue, not so much as a criminal issue. A social issue which has turned into a criminal issue, and there needs to be help. Mental illness is real and serious, man. It has been the most neglected disease in the world, man. I mean, when you talk about, there's been studies for cancer, diabetes, and everything, nothing for mental illness, and it's serious. It's out here bad,
man. I'm just so excited, man. When I hear you talk, man, you can reach people I can't reach. You can touch people I can't touch. And that's why this show is so vital. You and Brother O, the Prison Freedom Show, man, is a lifeline to let people know they have been forgotten, man. I got a brother who I love so much, Raymond Carter Jr. He got in prison when he was in his teens, and he's in prison right now. He's almost 48 years old. And Brother O talked to him. It's my godson. He was just driving down the street with his boys 20-something years ago down south on the road, got pulled over, and been in prison ever since, man. But you give him hope. He's gonna watch this show. You give him hope and inspiration. What do you tell if you were in a room with 5,000 young people, man? Some of them are gangbangers, some of them are on drugs, selling drugs, some of them out there shooting, killing and robbing and breaking in places. Brothers and sisters, what would you tell them? You at the podium, you got 5,000 people in your room right now, only them. The doors are closed. The playground is over. It's just you and them talking. What would you say?
Well, I'll say this. I'll say that what you might hear me say right now might sound lame to you. It might sound like a preacher talking to you, but I'm far from a preacher and I'm far from a lame individual. Okay, I ran a gang. I was an individual who was feared once upon, and I'm not bragging about nothing. I'm just validating myself, because nothing else validates me but me and my history and my background, which is my history. I will tell you this, that education is the most important thing to get to. This is the path I walked, others have walked it with me, but those others, they're not here to talk about it. And I guarantee you, if they were asked, is it better to be alive or to be dead? The answer would be they would rather be alive and see their families and their nephews that they never met and never will meet. So it is important to educate yourself. It is important to stay in within education. It is important to reach out, man, to individuals if you have a problem to deal with. It's not masculine to react violently and grab a pistol and shoot someone. Like I said, it's not gangster to shoot someone, because the madman that walked into that school in Texas, outside the school or into the school, and killed 17 babies, is that gangster because he killed 17? Was he 17 times gangster than you? So I would say, man, this individual who was probably at times considered to will be dead by the end of summer or in prison for the rest of his life, was just in a room sitting with senators discussing how to change policy, how to make this a better place. I can argue with the best, whether it's historical, whether it's religion, and so on and so on. How I did that? By reading, by understanding, and I gained the utmost respect when I talk to individuals. So I would say, just like I'm able to do that kind of stuff, just like I have done that, you can do that also. The future is bright. You have to make it bright, or you can make it dark and end it. And I see a lot of young brothers doing that and gone. It's over with. It's over with.
Wow, man. I want to thank you for coming on Pick TV Network. We got to have you to come back. Brother O, want to close us out tonight, Brother O?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Evans. So we're more than glad to have you here. It was an honor. You know, I met you at Professor Lee's office at a NAFI reentry circle meeting. And your story is definitely intriguing, and we just appreciate your story and the work that you're doing, your testimony. And until next time, everyone, I'm Orion Meadows, your business manager for the Prison Freedom Program. And this is the Pick TV Network. Check us out. We're on Roku, 60 channels. And don't forget to check out Imayat Sadeh's book. Please do not forget to check out his book, man. Read it. It's an interesting story. He's been through a lot, and you definitely won't be disappointed. I got the book myself. I read it, and there's just a lot of things in there about the world, about history, and about how different people struggle throughout the world. But it talks about the ability to be able to persevere and overcome. And even though people may make mistakes in life, they can still come out on top. And this is what has happened with this man right here. So until next time, we'll see you again on the Pick TV Network. I'm Orion Meadows. And for Dr. David Evans, we're out. Till next time. Everybody have a blessed day.
Peace.
Shout out to PIC TV Network. Check them out. Black owned and operated. Let's support each other. I'm Zeke with the Universal Circus. I'll be tuning in. Shout out to PIC TV Network. Check them out. Black owned and operated. Let's support each other. I'm Zeke with the Universal Circus. I'll be tuning in.
Broken down, tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't come down higher. I see them moving and walking out. We go walking out. I'm there. And I'm
Shout out to PIC TV Network. Check them out. Black owned and operated. Let's support each other. I'm Zeke with the Universal Circus. I'll be tuning in. Shout out to PIC TV Network. Check them out. Black owned and operated. Let's support each other. I'm Zeke with the Universal Circus. I'll be tuning in.
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the fifth floor. Yo, look at here. Y'all need to support the new Coaching World channel on PIC TV Network. It's all that. I mean, go to www.watchpictv.com. That's PIC.TV.com. It's all that. So spread the word. You know, the new Coaches channel. That's PIC TV Network. www.watchpictv.com. You know, my dude, man, David Edwards is the president, all right, of the PIC TV Network. So let's support him. You know, PIC TV, all coaches need to be off up on this here channel. I mean, it's like money in the bank. Matter of fact, it's like Serb sandwiches in the bank. All the Serb sandwiches that you can eat. Watching PICTV.com for the coaches. Peace.
Count on me. Don't be worried. Cast all your troubles away. Wherever you're going, just know that I'll be there. Count on me. Put on your smile. No need to frown, 'cause I'm here. Just look to me, and it will be alright. Just take a breath and look around, 'cause I have never ever let you down. My love for you will never fail. I'll be here forever.
Count on me, put on your smile.
I'll never let you down.
People come and they go,
I'll never
but
leave.
I'll be.
You can count on me.
Everybody, this is David Everson, Pick TV Network. Listen, we are excited for all of you who've been watching our show today. The Prison Freedom Show was amazing. From Washington, D.C., all the way to Chicago with Brother O, my co-host, to Jerusalem. This is the first time we ever hit Jerusalem, which is amazing. My brother put it down. And you know, he talked about being in prison at a young age and coming out, now being productive in society and helping other folks. But all of you are like me. When he goes into those hospitals and see people shot up, 10 people per week and more, and a lot of them are innocent kids, people sitting in cars, he sees that. You know, so we want to pray for him. We're also praying for our First Lady, Jill Biden, praying that she'll be healed very soon from COVID. And thank God for our president and our vice president. We're praying Pick TV Network. We need each other as we go through a season of helping and supporting. And one of the ways that we want everybody to support this network, the Pick TV Network, is to take a moment and to scan that QR code right there. When you scan that QR code with your phone, you can support the Pick TV Network with a donation of any size. You'll see there when you scan it, you'll see the PayPal, the Cash App, the Zelle, whatever you like to give. Matter of fact, we're going to have a Pick TV Network telethon real soon, our donation fundraising. You can be a part of it. You can chat in and contribute. We want to do some great things this winter as we prepare for 2023 to help some families in need. We're going to be adopting some families. You know, there's a lot of families who lost loved ones down in Texas, down in Chicago, and other places. These families still have to go through the holidays with an empty seat at the table. So what did Pick TV Network do? We have a gift card that brightens somebody's day, and we give the children some toys. This is called Project Smiles from the Pick TV Network. When I created Project Smiles, I was thinking about a family that will see a gift card in the mail and some toys for the kids during the holiday seasons to put a smile on their face. I'm going to show you some footage that we did last year. It was amazing. And some people we helped right here from the DMV. Yep. And we took it right out of our own pockets. We helped people who are in need all the way to Zambia. We were giving over there to help people in the United States. And we want to try to do more this year, but we cannot do it alone. We need your help. We need your support. Take a moment, scan that QR code, Pick TV Network QR code right there. When you scan that QR code, you can contribute to help our television network grow and do some great things. As you just seen on TV just now, the Prison Freedom Channel. It's a television channel show only seen on the Pick TV Network. Our network created this television show just for you. And everybody who has a story coming out of prison, or some may be in prison, they still have a story. And that story needs to be told. And there's so many people going from the prison to the New Vision, like our brother who was just on from Jerusalem, talking about how he was in prison at a young age. 50 times a year he would be locked up. So many times he would get in fights. He would do so many things that were crazy. And he wasn't even planning to live to be 21 years old. He had such a rough life, but now he's giving back. He's out of prison. And guess what? He has a vision after prison. And now his vision is to be productive in society. He has a book out. He's doing great things. Our brothers all the way from Jerusalem to Chicago doing great things. And you know what? A lot of times, those of you watching me right now, you may have a loved one in prison, but they can have a vision after prison and come out of prison and do something great. Yep. And this is what the Prison Freedom TV show is all about, giving people a chance to showcase their talent, gifts, and abilities to the world. Yep. And they have a story to tell. The repeat offenders have a story. The people who are going through have a story. From prison, freedom. It's called prison, freedom. Because guess what? Just because behind bars, that don't mean the bars have to be inside them. Just because they're looking inside, that don't mean they can't look outside. And I want you to help us. Scan that QR code, support the PIC TV network. Do it today. And don't forget, we have a brand new coaching channel show on right now. And one of the biggest stars in Hollywood gave us a promo. You already seen Bro Man from the 5th floor of Mont Lawn show. But I got another surprise guest. You are going to be amazed at this Hollywood star. You've seen him on the King Comedy. You've seen him on his own television show. You've seen him do some great things on the movie screen. And now he has a promo on the PIC TV network. The one, the only, Cedric, the entertainer, right here on PIC TV network with promo that's so amazing. We're going to play that promo. And I want you to see it. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to like and share. Matter of fact, it's on Instagram right now, the PIC TV network on Instagram. Go over to Instagram, see the PIC TV network with Cedric the Entertainer giving us so much love. Like and share it. Push it out there. Tell everybody about it. This is big for our network, folks. My name is David Evans, your president of PIC TV network. If you'd like to be on our television show, we have a brand new Coaching World channel that everybody's talking about, one of the hottest shows out. And I want to say congratulations to the PIC TV network new Coaching World channel that's on right now. You want to be on our Coaching World channel. Our Coaching World channel is a brand new channel, again, hot off the press on the PIC TV network, and you can be a part of our Coaching World channel. Congratulations to the PIC TV network Coaches World channel. You can be on this brand new channel. All you have to do is to call 202-505-2837. That's a brand new show. Hot, breaking live on the PIC TV network. I want you to be a part of it. And I can't wait to show you this commercial from the one, the only, King of Comedy, one and only, has his own show. You've seen him on all shows and programs. One of the biggest stars in Hollywood gave PIC TV network this big commercial of the year, Cedric the Entertainer. That is huge for PIC TV. Hey, I want to say thank you for your time, folks. My name is David Evans, and don't forget, tell somebody about PIC TV network. Our network is on Roku right now, coming your way. Thank you for your time. Keep on looking up, because the best is yet to come. Check this out from Hollywood.
It's the biggest. You know what I'm talking about? Hey. Yeah. She want the all. She want the all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I am your host, Izumi, and we are reporting live from Los Angeles, California, and we are on PIC TV network on Roku TV. And if you're not tuning in right now, you better tune in, because you do not want to miss the latest and hottest indie music videos, fashion, celebrity news, interviews, and so much more for you guys that we're going to bring a home for all indie artists and all genres of music. So we are the streets, we are the culture, and we are the content. Stay tuned, Roundtable TV.
Tonight is movie night.
Fascinating.
Target acquired.
In here, the party never stops. That's false. I got something to do in the morning, so it kind of does.
In here, you can go anywhere.
See anyone.
You want to see something cool?
You knew how to get into my dad's garage.
Take it easy.
We have the same scar.
Right here.
And you're wearing my dad's watch. You're me.
There once was. Where are you going?
Thanks for watching.